Hello, my name is Tim Mosel. I'm a kinesiology professor here at Lone Star College-CyFair. We're going to take a look at some exercises that are great for low back care as well as strengthening the core. I've got one of my students here, Kai. She's going to demonstrate some of the exercises. We're going to first start with the cat-cow stretch. The purpose of this is just to get some mobility in the spine. She's going to sag her back down, arch up high. That's just getting movement between the vertebrae to prepare her back for some future movements that we're going to do in this routine. So once she sags down, she pauses for a moment, comes back up, pauses for another moment, and repeats. The bird dog is a great exercise to strengthen the lower back muscles and improve core stability. So you start on your hands and knees, you lift one arm up, and then the opposite leg comes up. Notice this is a fist because you want to squeeze your arm muscles tight to get an isometric contraction, which will help strengthen the arms as well. So you want to have a straight line with the arm down the back of the leg. You hold about 7 seconds and then you switch sides. The first time you do this, you may feel a little bit wobbly. That's your stabilizer muscles trying to work. Okay? Now, once this becomes easy, you're going to add a challenge to it where you move your arm and leg out, down, and up, which forms a square. So you do it once or twice on each side, then you switch the opposite side. When you lift the leg in the rear, you don't want your leg coming higher than the hips because that can compress your lower back. So just keep a straight line between your back and your leg. Plank is a great exercise for the core. It works your abs and it works your lower back, and it can work your glutes and even your hamstrings. So go ahead and you're going to be on your forearms. Body's in a straight line, your ab muscles are contracted tightly, and what you want to make sure not to do is to sag down to where if she sags down, that puts a curve in the back, so bring those hips up so that it's a straight line. So you would hold this for 30 to 60 seconds, whatever gives you a challenge. Now there's variations of this. So the first variation, once this becomes too easy, is a bird dog plank. So she'll lift up one arm and then the opposite leg. Holds that for about 7 seconds and then switches to the other side. Now, an objective of this is you want the hip bones to be parallel to the ground like this. So if they start tilting sideways, that's something you want to try to avoid. Keeping them parallel to the ground is a challenge. So once you finish the bird dog plank, and again, work this for about a minute. After that, you can go to calf raise planks. Now on a calf raise plank, you lift up one leg, you don't touch it to the other foot, you just lift it up, you do 5 calf raises on this leg, and then after 5 you switch. Now you will not feel this in your calves. What the purpose is it changes where you feel the resistance in your core. So she'll do 5 each leg, and that would be repeated for 1 minute. Then the final variation of the plank series is going to be up-down planks, where you also work your arms, specifically the triceps. So she goes up, up, down, down. And about halfway through, which would be about 30 seconds into it, you want to switch which hand you lead the movement with. So she's been starting with her left hand, so now she switches over to the right to keep it balanced. And on this one too, keep those hips parallel to the ground, don't let them twist side to side too much. The next crunch is very safe for the back. What you do is put your hands under the lower back. By doing that, when you lay down, naturally there's a curve at the lower lumbar spine. The hands there help reinforce the spine. Now she's gonna crunch up just a little bit, up to my hand and then back down. The reason is, from here to here, it's her abs doing the work. If she continues any further past here, if she were to come all the way up, that's her hip flexors pulling her up, and that pulls on the lower back, so you don't want to be doing that, just small crunches. One leg is straight, one leg is bent, that helps relieve pressure on the lower back as well. After about 30 seconds, she would switch legs just to keep it balanced in there, and continue this for about 1 minute.
My name is Ronnie Nispecka, and I'm going to be working through some gluteal amnesia exercises with Kai. These is a term that is starting to become more and more popular, is gluteal amnesia. And what's happening is that we've been sitting at our office desk for long periods of time or driving long distances, and we start to lose the functionality of our glutes. And what happens is they become weakened, and then your low back is starting to take a lot of that strain. And that's where we're having lots of low back pain throughout a lot of people in the United States. This is an excellent set of exercises to help alleviate that low back pain that's a dull sensation that you're having on a regular basis. So the first exercise that we're going to do with Kai is we're going to do a clamshell. We have her with a resistance band that she's using. This is not necessary. If you do not want to use that, you can just use your hand as resistance. But these are very cheap and inexpensive to buy, and you can use this to help with the giving more of the restriction on the leg. With this, is what we want to do is we want to make sure she has a straight back, her lifting her legs up, and you're going to feel it in the glute. What you want to make sure is you're not feeling it in the hip flexor. This is a simple exercise, doing 20 to 30. After you do this, what we're going to have her do is we're going to have her immediately get up, and we were trying to fatigue her right glute. We're working on her right side. She's going to go and put her left leg up. Her right leg's going to be forward, and these are called Bulgarian lunges. We're going straight into this exercise, again, because we are trying to focus on that right glute, and we're trying to fatigue it as much as possible. You want to do a small hold, and then you're back up. From this, we're going to go back down onto the mat immediately and continue with fatiguing. You can leave the band on or take it off for these last two exercises, but we're going to have her on her back, and we're going to have her feet flat, and we're going to do the marching bridges. Hands at the small of her back, off to the side, and she's doing just little toe taps. So the marching bridges right here, and again, focusing more on her glutes. Yes, it is working the left side as well, but we're still focusing on the right alongside that. Excellent exercise. Again, do these three all continuous in a row to help alleviate some of that low back pain. Gluteal amnesia exercises.
This next core movement takes a lot of movements and kind of combines them together so you hit the core from a lot of different areas. It starts with a side plank on the hand, arm is extended up, you reach under, come back up, then you go to a push-up position, drop down to the elbows and back up. The other side where you reach under, back up, down, down, up, up, and then it repeats. You want to run this cycle for, generally try for at least 1 minute, and if that becomes easy, add another minute to it. So this is a good challenging movement that hits your core in a lot of different angles. So basically an extra credit core movement.